I'm a Forester here, and this video will be about my impressions of this Spyderco Tenacious. I got this knife about 2 weeks ago when I did my unboxing video, and I've enjoyed carrying it every single day since then. This is the first Spyderco knife that I've had, and I've had to learn a new deployment method or two. In fact, I've learned 4 ways of opening this knife. The first one is fairly common, and that's just to put some pressure with your thumb on the thumb hole and then open it with a snap. This knife, like I say, is brand new and it's still very tight, so I have to use a lot of wrist action to get it open. Over time, I hope that it'll loosen up, or I could just loosen the track screw there and loosen it up myself, but I thought I'd just break it in. Now, that you can't or you don't want to open it that way in all places. If you're in the post office, you're going to get some stares if you open it with a snap. So this knife does not have any type of assisted opening device, so you can open it just with your thumb and opening it slowly. And that's probably the way I open it the most. At work one day last week, though, I did open it like that, just very slowly to use the knife, and a worker that was nearby jumped back and went, "Whoa!" So I guess everything's relative. He probably was only familiar with slip joint pocket knives, and so to him this knife looked like a wicked blade, even though I did open it slowly. The third way to open this knife is actually has a name. It's called the Spider Drop, and you just take the knife by the thumb hole and then snap down. That's a cute way to open it. I don't know that I'll use that all that often. The fourth way is actually my favorite, and if it's done fast enough, it actually looks like the knife is opening itself, or an automatic knife. I'll do it a couple times and let you see. How about that? Let me do it one more time. That's my favorite way to open it. You know, when you look at this knife, it's really designed around that thumb hole. That thumb hole makes all the difference in the world. Because it's such a large thumb hole, that allows space for this thumb ramp, and that really adds to the traction and purchase that you have on the knife. Let me bring in another knife. This is the Kershaw Skyline, and the designer obviously had something different in mind with this Skyline. I think it was a shark, but it has a totally different opening design. It's a flipper opening design, and so there is no thumb hole, and because there's no thumb hole, there's no thumb ramp. So the design of this knife, the Kershaw Skyline, really forces it into a utility blade rather than a defensive blade. That's not the case with this Spyderco Tenacious, though. Because of the design, you have excellent purchase with that thumb ramp. But then if you look underneath at the handle, it's sort of shaped like a canoe, and that canoe shape really allows your hand to lock in between the handle and that thumb ramp. Your hand just locks in place. I don't have any other knife that I really have this good a purchase of the knife. So it's a great knife for either a utility blade, because of that fine point, you can do some fine cutting, or a defensive blade in an emergency. Now, something else that I really like about this knife, and I mentioned it in my unboxing video, and that's the price point that this knife came at. This knife cost a total of $27.40. That includes shipping and taxes. And for the quality of this knife, that's really amazing that it can be manufactured for that cost. So the price point is really a strong point for this knife. The other thing that I really like about this knife is the clip. Now, I'm not a clip person. In fact, I've never really used a clip on any knife that I have, for one reason. Every single clip is so tight that you can barely even open it or put it on my pants pocket. This knife is different, and this clip is different in that it's actually functional. It's the first knife with a clip that I've had that I could actually use. And I still don't really put it on my pants pocket and wear it that way, but the clip is handy. I don't take them off because it's handy to just get traction with it, and when you're opening, use it to grip the clip to get more traction. There's a couple of things about the knife that I don't particularly like. They're not major things, but the first one is the alignment of the blade. And I know I've heard other people talk about this, but I'll try to get this to where the camera will focus on it. You can tell that that blade is not centered at all in the handle, and it came out of the box just like that. Now in studying it, I think I know why that is, and if you look at the liner lock right here, it's a pretty stout liner lock and it pushes against the blade in that direction. And so I think that makes the tip of the blade go in that direction also. Now I don't think it's a major deal, because when you go to open a knife like this, you're going to press down on the thumb hole. The liner lock is under here and it's pushing the blade in that direction. But as you press down on the thumb hole, you're going to naturally push that blade toward the center of the knife and then open it. And then when you close it, it's in the center, and when you relieve the pressure, it's back over to the side. So I don't think it's a major issue. The other thing that could be improved is just the actual weight of the knife. It's a fairly heavy knife. I don't have an actual weight, but you will know that it's in your pocket, versus say a knife like that Skyline that you may actually forget that it's in your pocket. So the weight could be improved, but you know, that's not a major issue to me, because whether you're talking about a knife or any other tool, a little bit of substance in your hand I think gives you better control. So that's not a major issue. I've used this knife for pretty heavily for a couple of weeks, but I wanted to do a cutting test just to see how well it held an edge. And you can see it's still fairly sharp. I could probably touch it up, but it's held an edge very well. Well, those are my impressions of the Spyderco Tenacious. I hope you've enjoyed the review. Good day.